The President had to come out yesterday and say that he has repeatedly condemned what he described as the illegal, immoral and unjustifiable Russian invasion of Ukraine, calling for an immediate Russian withdrawal and end to the violence. However, there are a number of questions about Sabina Higgins' intervention with the letter that was sent to the Irish Times. I suppose, number one, Ciara, never say anything remotely controversial during the months of July and August, because what will happen is it'll become a much bigger story than it would at any other time of the year. Ultimately, though, Sabina Higgins is a private citizen. Yes, she is married to the President. Is she not entitled to her opinion, and even one that is expressed in a letter to the Irish Times?
Yeah, well, except for this, Jonathan. Private citizens don't tend to get their letters to the papers published on president.ie. And so it cannot be suggested that, first of all, Michael D. Higgins didn't know what she said, or didn't tacitly at least approve of what she said, because it appeared on the presidential website. Now, I know it was taken down, but what was it doing there if she is more, a private citizen? You're one thing or the other. There were a few other odd things about it. I mean, the way it was signed, Sabina Coyne Higgins, she's usually referred to as just Sabina Higgins, and it also said in that letter to the paper that she lives in Dublin 8. Last time I checked, the Phoenix Park is not in Dublin 8, which is actually where she lived. But I would like to sort of say this about it. The Higginses, now both of them, I think it's fair to say, have been kind of pushing the envelope. It's sort of as if Michael D. Higgins has been trying to expand the role of president, and many of us have pushed back against that. It's fine if you agree with what he said, like he said lots of things on housing, etc., that many people agreed with. There were quite populist things he said. But when he says something that we don't necessarily agree with, that's when it is apparent that it is a problem. And I believe that it is a problem. And I would ask this question: is being President of Ireland not enough for him? He wants an expanded role. This reminds me a little bit of Boris Johnson or somebody trying to expand his role over in the UK, and indeed elsewhere. We might look at people trying to expand their positions of power. The President has a role in Ireland. It is a constitutionally endorsed role in Ireland. And I think, to be honest, the President should stay in his road and stay exactly there. It should be enough for anyone to be President of Ireland. This pushing the envelope constantly, I believe, is too much, and I believe they have overstepped, and I believe a more fulsome statement should be given, not just sort of, I suppose, reiterating the government position on the war in Ukraine, but addressing the issue of the First Lady, if we should refer to her as that, writing letters like this to the paper and indeed then publishing them on the presidential website.
It is an unusual situation that you have got the spouse of the President embroiled in a controversy. I'm scratching my head trying to think of another occasion where this might have happened in the past. The real concern is the fact it went up on Ársa Uachtarán's official website. That made it the opinion of the President of Ireland.
Yeah.
And it has been seized upon by those who are friends of Russia as being
absolutely
an example of common sense prevailing in another country. So that has to be addressed. Why did it go up on the website if it wasn't the official position? I mean, again, I go back to my point. Sabina Higgins was not elected to the office of President of Ireland. Her husband was, so therefore she's entitled to her opinion, even if it is a bad one. It's the fact that it got such publicity that we want to question.